The first time I heard that JayZ probably was my father when I was 8 years old, my mom came up to me and was like, "Hey Rob, you know I got something to tell you. That's your dad for real. That you don't just say this type of person is your father, JayZ." It is important that I know who my biological father is. I don't know how he feeling. Like I would hope he would think about it.
It looks like Beyonce is making JayZ sleep on the couch tonight because he's been sneaking around and lying to the world. Once upon a time, when JayZ was 22, he decided to hook up with a 16-year-old, which is so gross. She ended up getting pregnant and had his son. Well, now his son Ramirez is 30 years old and wants the world to know. So let's get into it. In the entertainment industry, there are a lot of clout chasers, but in this instance, I fully believe that JayZ was messing around with a minor, got her pregnant, and wanted nothing to do with his son. This honestly sounds like a movie because this 30-year-old man is claiming that JayZ is his father, and he's been trying to get to the bottom of this for the past 10 years. But JayZ has been using his power and his money, his influence to manipulate and corrupt the Supreme Court. So we're going to be talking about this man Ramirez and what he's claiming JayZ has done. I mean, if you take a look at him, he does kind of look like JayZ, so we're off to a good start. Ramirez claims that he's the secret, illegitimate son of JayZ and has accused the world-famous rapper of abusing the legal system for more than a decade in order to avoid taking a paternity test. Ramirez has been at this for a long time, so honestly, I was surprised I haven't seen this story before because he's been trying to get JayZ to take this paternity test ever since he was 21. And now he's currently taking this battle to the highest court to force JayZ to take a DNA test. And I actually don't believe that Ramirez is trying to get clout off of this situation. I genuinely believe that he's just trying to get justice because at this point, like, he really hasn't made that much progress. JayZ has used his power to stop everything.
It was never about, you know, chasing anybody or trying to receive anything from it. This was like, you know, I'm trying to really see who my dad is. Everyone who really knows me know how I am. I stay to myself, I work every day, I take care of my family, I do my own music. I've been doing music since I was a kid.
Can you imagine if he is in fact JayZ's son and then he has been making music, has been doing it ever since he was a kid? And I did take a listen, his music's pretty good. And I actually don't think Ramirez is trying to get to JayZ's money. I think he just wants acknowledgement from his father that he's his son, which is a messy situation because, you know, I've heard JayZ has a few different kids in other places as well. Now Ramirez has filed a new motion with the New Jersey Supreme Court in February of this year, and he's trying to unseal years worth of documents dating back to 2012. The motion, which details every facet of the years-long case in a 29-page document, was rejected by the court because, according to the court, it did not have jurisdiction to reopen matters in the appeals court or to unseal records. So now the courts are just complicating this situation even further. But let's go back in time and talk about how Ramirez's mother got involved with JayZ. Ramirez says in the fall of 1992, his late mother, Wanda, alleged that she had hooked up with JayZ while she was in an on and off again romance with her high school sweetheart. Now here's the scary part, because at this point, Wanda was 16 years old and JayZ was 22. I mean, oh God. Everyone in Hollywood, they're just sick in their mind. And this is kind of early on in his career. Ramirez claims by the time he was born in 1993, the alleged romance between his mother and JayZ had come to an end, which is partly why he claims his mother chose to put the name of her high school sweetheart, Robert, on his birth certificate because they were in this relationship. I mean, did Robert even know that, you know, maybe she was sleeping around and was pregnant by another man? Probably not. But according to a family insider, Wanda always knew that Robert was not Ramirez's father, something that became all more evident as her son grew up and doesn't look anything like Robert. Now let's talk about when Ramirez learned about this, because he grew up as a kid thinking Robert was his dad. But when he was 8 years old, his mother told him that JayZ was his father. He was sitting there watching TV and then, you know, his mother came and told him that, which I question like the mother in this situation. Like, could she just be making this up? But the way that he's avoided this entire situation, it shows that JayZ is guilty.
The first time I heard that JayZ probably was my father when I was 8 years old. And, you know, my mom, we was actually sitting in the house on a regular day, you know, listening to music. My mom came up to me and was like, hey, Ra, you know, I got something to tell you. That's your dad for real. And I'm like, I was shocked. Like, Mom, what are you talking about? You know, I'm young. Like, it's nothing your parents would just make up like that. You don't just say this type of person is your father, JayZ.
I can't imagine how Ramirez felt in that moment, like being an 8-year-old kid and then learning your father could be this guy on TV. Like, that's just such a weird thing to process. But of course, as an 8-year-old, he could not start this paternity battle. So it all started in 2010, 2 years after JayZ married Beyonce. At this point, Wanda, his mother, was not doing well. As you guys heard earlier, she has since passed away. Wanda claims that she had only hooked up with 2 men when she was in high school. And it's Robert and JayZ. Robert didn't have any issues taking this paternity test. And when he did, they found out that he was not in fact the father. So, who does that leave? Because we found out that Robert is not Ramirez's father, Robert's name was removed from his birth certificate by the court and has remained blank ever since then. In 2011, Wanda handed over custody of Ramirez to his godmother because she wasn't doing well. And Lily has put on this fight in court to prove that JayZ is in fact his father. So Wanda kind of had to step out, but then Lily, the godmother, is like, okay, I will take care of Ramirez and we will also challenge this in court and get to the bottom of it. Lily was quoted saying that this situation was so hard for Ramirez because he had his mother ripped away from him and he had no one to call dad. That same year that Lily stepped in, she actually contacted JayZ's attorney and asked for him to undergo a DNA test. Obviously, JayZ wouldn't comply. And, you know, if you look at JayZ, he's a huge star. There's probably a lot of other people who do this to him and other celebrities as well. They try to pretend that they're pregnant with their baby. Like, I remember like someone did that to Justin Bieber like a long time ago. And, you know, it can get complicated because there are some serious clout chasers. But Lily and Ramirez began to pursue legal action against JayZ in 2012. This battle has spanned more than 10 years and seen the pair embroiled in endless legal tussles with the rapper. Ramirez claims that JayZ's legal team has made endless attempts to subvert the legal system in order to avoid taking a paternity test, which the 30-year-old claims would put an end to this case once and for all. Because, you know, if you're not the dad, if you're not concerned, like if you were to just do this, then we can close the book. But it seems like he's got something to hide, especially because Ramirez has been consistently trying to get this question answered for so long. Personally, I don't believe that he's making it up, because if they were, they probably would have given up by now. JayZ's legal team said that the rapper should be exempt from undergoing a DNA test in New Jersey because he did not live or own any property in the state. So there's no reason for him to be associated with New Jersey and have to listen to anything that New Jersey has to say because he doesn't even own land there. But JayZ isn't telling the truth. Ramirez's attorneys immediately appealed the verdict, insisting that they had evidence in the form of 3 property deeds and tax records, showing that JayZ did in fact own a couple of properties. And actually, for several of those properties, JayZ is still listed as the owner. So how are you going to act like you don't have any property there when you actually do, and it can be proven true? So it's like now your lawyers are lying to the courts. What's insane to me is that this case was still dismissed because they said that they could not prove that Sean Corey Carter was listed on any of the deeds. This is where I get a little bit confused because you do see his name up there under owners, but I think that he works with obviously a bunch of different people. So there are also other owners as well, but that doesn't like deny the fact that he clearly owns something in New Jersey for whatever reason. I mean, you could assume it's just for him. Lily, Ramirez's godmother, submitted these documents to the court to show that JayZ did in fact own properties in New Jersey, which would give the court jurisdiction to require DNA testing. But the court, however, ruled in favor of JayZ, the guy with a bunch of money, a bunch of influence. Makes sense to me, right? But a lot of people are calling BS. I mean, the NAACP and ACLU, which are 2 civil rights organizations, are actually fighting with Ramirez to try to get this DNA testing done. So these big agencies are like, wait, hold up, there is something wrong here. I mean, the court is dismissing a case because they claim there aren't properties, but there are properties. So now these civil rights groups are getting involved.
With New Jersey Supreme Court, there's been a whole lot of fraud and collusion, and I'm not pointing no fingers. I'm just asking everybody, all the judges or anybody who's working on the case, to do what's right and do their job the correct way. Even if you overlook something or didn't see something, everybody makes mistakes, as I said before, but you know, it's time to actually do your job and look at everything and get it correct.
As I mentioned, Ramirez has not given up. In December 2014, he filed a civil lawsuit against JayZ and his attorney, arguing the fact that they cannot use the defense that JayZ doesn't own property in New Jersey because he does. And at the end of the day, like, there's some fraud or something going on here. So he's actually suing both of them, and he should sue that attorney because that's unethical. And even though he did file this civil lawsuit, the court ruled in JayZ's favor and dismissed the case. In 2017, Ramirez and Lily filed a civil rights complaint to Judge Glenn A. Grant for violations, including that she's not following normal procedures for court services based on gender, class, and retaliation. And they've continued to call out these people in the court system. They did it in 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022. So they're not giving up. And now they've caught, my attention and you guys.
Because, if it was anybody else that made a low income, I feel like they would have had them in there way faster than people that's wealthy. I really try not to get frustrated, basically. I really try not to think about it, I go on with my life because, anything could happen, but, I still gotta live for myself.
Because this entire situation is hitting the press again, JayZ's attorneys are on top of it. In a letter to the Daily Mail, JayZ's attorneys denied Ramirez's claims, noting the allegations have been previously reviewed thoroughly by courts and have been refuted. I'm sure that will be the outcome of whatever filings Ramirez may be currently considering. Which seems like such a dismissive response. Like, they really don't have any proof that he's lying. They're just like, go look at the courts and hear what they say. Well, now he's calling out the courts saying that they are corrupt. And this man just wants to know who his dad is, like health implications, like things you would want to know from a parent.
It is important that I know who my biological father is, just because, my mom's health, I don't know if it's coming from our family or it's coming from the other side. And that would be something I really would want to find out because, in the future, you don't know what could happen.
I would love to have Ramirez on the channel and to talk about this entire situation. He's been quoted saying, "This is not going to be over until justice is served. I just want to live my life. And when all is said and done, I hope JayZ would want to be a part of my life, if that's God's will. I won't stop fighting for this until I win. And I will win because the law is on our side."
I don't know. I wouldn't know how he's feeling. Like, I will hope he would think about it and this would be in his mind, but I wouldn't actually know what another person is feeling at this time. You just can think that this person knows and thinking about it and stuff like that. I really want to know how I am.
I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below. Here's my email if you have any other video ideas for me. Let's go ahead and open this P.O. Box package item from Hott Pink Matter. Ooh, I like the name of that. Hott Pink Matter. Wait, hold up. Okay, we need to see. Is there a letter? Hi, Sloan. I've been watching your videos while sewing since I began like 2 to 3 years ago, and I absolutely adore you. Thank you for helping bring light to unfortunate situations and giving others a safe space to talk about it. Oh, that is so sweet. Here's a bag I made from a second-hand materials. It's thrifted Fox vegan. I always say like fake instead of saying, the Fox word. Anyways, I got the fabric lining from a design place. Oh, wow. And I also embroidered the bag with a few things, including my brand name, Hott Pink Matter. You guys could actually check out their shop below and get 20% off using Sloan20. I love that. Thank you so much. I'll link everything below. And look, we've got like some cool cards right here. Branding on point. And then look at this bag. So it's, oh, I'm like, I think it literally says the CUN word on it, but it says like Hott Pink Matter. That's hot. Oh my gosh, that's Hott Pink Matter. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. I don't have any like a purse. I guess this is like a purse, so I wonder what I could use it for if I like ever travel heavy. This is so sweet. Thank you so much. I'll keep this thing forever. I love when you guys send me stuff because I'm low-key a hoarder. But anyways, I'll see you guys in a new video soon. Check out their shop below, and until next time, bye guys.